We're here at the Open Mobile Summit and pleased to be joined by Courtney Guertin. He is the co-founder and Chief Technology Officer at Kiip. And Courtney, thanks so much for joining us.
Yeah, I appreciate it. Thanks so much for having me.
Sure, and let's start it off with a little bit about your role there at the company.
Okay, so being the CTO at Kiip, I head up all product and engineering and finding great talent, kind of doing the product roadmap and the technologies that we should use. And it's been a fun 3 years. So. And what our company is basically a mobile rewards platform. So we provide rewards for people who have achievement moments in apps.
So we're talking virtual rewards, but also real world rewards
absolutely.
as well.
Yeah, we provide a lot of offline real rewards, and they come in a variety of ways. Could be promo codes, could be free content, it could be free goods that come to you in the mail.
And how are you seeing this changing as mobile's being so much more readily adopted, particularly in the U.S. with mobile commerce? Is that creating more of a demand for you? And
yes. Basically, one thing that we started out with was in gaming, and these achievement moments in gaming.
Right.
Now that basically mobile's taken over in all different areas, we're seeing all these achievement moments in different verticals, and there are a lot of brands and a lot of people want to reach these people as they're having these happy moments in other verticals. And so we've seen a big expansion in mobile.
So you're not creating your own apps, you're basically working with partners who want to offer a reward or some kind of a prize maybe to someone, and that's where you guys come in, is that?
Exactly.
So how does it work exactly?
So we provide the technology. We have SDKs that go inside applications, Android, iOS, and a bunch of different wrappers that people use out there.
Okay.
And the developer kind of knows where their moments of achievement might be. For example, in fitness, it might be completing a run. In recipes, it might be finding a recipe and saving a recipe and saying that you actually cooked that recipe. And so there's all these different moments of achievement.
Right.
And they make a simple call to us, and we'll fill that with the right reward for that person.
If the company's already developing the app, though, why can't they just do this themselves?
They're focusing on their own. It's very difficult to build a wide network of sales teams to provide all the different contexts. So they don't have to worry about, they can just focus on their app. They don't have to worry about sourcing all these different types of rewards, working with different ad agencies, working with different brands.
So you're already working with companies to give you
basically we're the supply side for them, and we make engagement better. And we've been very good at serendipitously rewarding people. And they would love building all that reward engine, so to speak, is very difficult, so they can just leverage us for that.
Can you give us an example?
So it's one of those things where if people have expectations, so like get to level 10, you will get X.
Right.
It's a lot different when you can just surprise and delight them. Their affinity and their happiness is actually goes way beyond just the expectation of something. And if there is an expectation, it gets diluted over time. So what happens when I get now to level 20? Well, that's twice as much. Do I get twice the reward?
Right.
And so we kind of provide a very easy ecosystem for people to just plug into their applications and get a nice sort of reward engine.
It seems like the incentives or the rewards would vary pretty widely and wildly depending on, I guess, which vertical you're in, whether it's gaming versus recipes or in education. If someone gets an A on a test and you want to reward them somehow, I'm just not sure that that's something.
Context is extremely important.
How are you able to quantify that to better leverage your business?
Yeah, so one thing that we've done is we've went out and kind of, when we're building up a vertical, so to speak, we try to get a few different applications that are kind of key stakeholders there. So what we do then is learn from brands who want to reach these people, and what we've been able to do then with these kind of new verticals is test to see what's actually working, what are people gravitating towards, because initial assumptions could be incorrect. So, and we found really great partners that are willing to try to reach out to these different people. And over time, we've found that a variety of brands can reach. For example, it's just all comes down to certain types of targeting. We have a lot of food brands, and at certain cases, they might not want to be showcased inside fitness applications. And so it comes down to the context.
Context.
Yeah.
And that's something that you're talking about here at the summit. how important is that for developers, as a trend, understanding? And it's not like the old days when you would spam or you're just trying to cast such a wide net. It's become a lot more specific.
Yeah, it's very specific. There's a lot of data with our devices. They're very personal. You're in the moment. There's a lot of attention. When you're using this, you're pretty much blacking out everything else. It's just this.
Right.
And with that, you have a powerful moment that you can really capture and deliver a great experience.
Mm-hmm.
And so what the context is, it could be time of day, could be location, could be the type of action that you just did. Just completing a run, you probably a propel reward, would work well in that case. Where in location of where you're at. Are you at home? Are you at work? Are you on the go?
Right.
Mobile is very, very mobile, so you're not always locked to a
Sure.
particular desk. And so that type of context is very important.
But it also knows where you are.
Yes, exactly.
So, if a sports drink wants to reach you after you've finished your run and it realizes there's a convenience store
a
nearby,
Walgreens right
and
there, we can definitely push you to a Walgreens.
Yeah.
So
you've got a couple of different potential partners. I mean, how far are we away from that happening, or can it happen now?
It's actually happened today. It happens today where we would give, we've done a lot of Propel fitness rewards. We've done rewards that are to offline stores, driving people into, for example, we did a big Staples campaign and right around, going back to school.
Right.
So reaching moms and parents who are completing tasks and to-do lists and saying, hey, basically here's a Staples reward. And we worked with hundreds of different brands. I think it's probably close to 20% of the Fortune 500. So a lot of these people have broad nationwide appeal.
Yeah.
And so we can reach a lot of people that way.
How much skepticism is there out there? You go to a Staples or brand X over here, they're not engaged in the same way. Is that a pretty high barrier for you to get it, get their attention and get them to realize that you can push some people?
Yeah, so what ends up happening is the way our platform works is there's an intent. Someone saw this particular reward and they engaged with it. They said, I would like this. Mm-hmm. And with that, then you have a lot of follow through. You have very high conversion rates on that. Because in the moment, there's a lot of attention there. They saw this, they felt happy, there's this brand affinity, and then they go on to sample that brand if they've never used it before, or perhaps to become more of a loyal customer.
But what's the reaction you get from the marketing officer when you first pitch them? Or
they're all about reaching people when they're happy. And we can provide that context and that timeliness of reaching the right person at the right time. It's different on mobile, so in web there's more intent and search.
Yeah.
And that's been well studied, well followed through. Then there's different behavior on mobile. And when you just get done with a particular action, you know that someone's doing it right then and there.
Yeah.
That it's in their thought. That was exactly what their intent was to do. They chose to do this. And if they can capture people and reward them in a nice way, like in a non-abusive way, you can be more human and capture this emotion with them. And brands really embrace that.
What area is, gaming seems like natural. Outside of gaming, what other area is sort of exploding here? Like where's the biggest adoption?
Yeah, so we see this exploding beyond just mobile next year. There's a lot of wearables, there's a lot of devices connected to the internet. Almost all of these have achievement moments. It could be, for example, your Nest device in your house. You decrease your energy for 30 days, you get a reward.
Right.
Your connected car, your connected TVs. These are the types of things that we're actually working with brands and SDK providers today. So you'll see Kiip in more areas than just mobile.
Does this open up sort of double dip opportunities here if you're working with Nest and someone else who wants to know who these customers are?
Yeah, well, because people fit a particular profile. If you're driving an electric car, you might have a Nest device, or if you have a Chromecast, you might actually have an Android device. So these are the types of things that people might want to reach.
And you may be shopping at X, Y, and Z. Certainly, they sort of can probably get a pretty good guess about who you are and sort of
what types of products and what lifestyle you have. So, absolutely.
So, what's the next step here? This is happening on it seems like pretty early adoption stage. How long until this is this rewards really become more massive and
It's
critical
been pretty
mass?
interesting. So it's owning the moment. For us, we want to own every achievement moment on the planet. And what that really is working with a lot of great developers and becoming a trustworthy, continuing to have our brand be trusted, and showcasing that it does drive true engagement and retention, and continuing to do that. Because for one thing, it's very hard to fall in love with an ad, but it is very easy to fall in love with the reward.
All right. Well, Courtney Guertin, thanks so much for joining us.
Yeah, I appreciate it. Thanks so much.